You are live. I assume that means me. And by me, I mean Vase. I am Vase of It's a Vase Productions. Of course, joined by my partner in crime, Hoff of HOFFcast.
Buddy Hoff here. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me. I've been waiting to do a show with you for a while now. I'm glad we get this opportunity to do so.
It's been too long.
Holding in.
I'll tell you one good thing, and this is just between the last time that we talked, like in a live stream, it kind of got broken apart because of my crappy internet. I think I got it fixed. I've been doing very good for very long, so I wouldn't be surprised if, because of my life's natural sense of irony, that it would get struck down during this stream. But up until now, it's been great. So yeah,
and then I'll just be sitting there like,
But
you scared me there for a second. It stopped.
Besides that, I've just been, I've been working a little bit. My job, I don't know about your job, but my job is basically closed down except for a little bit on the weekends. So I do some stuff there. And other than that, I've been working on some of my finals for school, which I'm going to, if I can, I'm going to screen share it with you. I'm going to share that to you in a second, but
sure, man. Yeah, my job is actually thriving right now because I work in a shipping company.
That's what I was going to ask next. I was going to say, is it up or down? So it's been very much up.
Yeah, we've been working an extra couple hours every day, to be honest with you. I'm actually on vacation this week, though. More like a staycation, I guess, because I can't really go anywhere. But I'm loving it. I'm loving not being at work right now. It's been crazy, man.
Dude, and that's like me personally. When you said staycation, like that's what I do when like my family and stuff, like I got a big family, they go on vacation like Ocean City, and I used to go when I was a kid and stuff, but since I've been like more of an adult, I'm usually the one that stays home and like looks after the dogs and stuff, because like for me a vacation is like away time for, but also I like editing and I like doing stuff indoor. Like people have, that's the thing about this whole quarantine thing for me and like staying indoors and stuff like that. My routine hasn't changed that much. The main thing is I haven't been able to like go to bars or sing karaoke and stuff, but that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I miss going to Blue Jackets games, hockey, because there's no hockey. Yeah. I had a ticket to see Primus in June. And they're going to be covering an entire Rush album in honor of Neil Peart. And just a couple days ago, they announced it's going to be postponed. At least it's not canceled yet. I don't know when it's going to be rescheduled. And then last night, I just bought a ticket. I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see. Hopefully by September, it'll be good. But I just bought a ticket for Tenacious D in September. Yeah. Can't wait for that. I've seen them once before, and they're great. So
I love Tenacious D.
I was watching Biodome a couple nights ago. Yeah, don't judge me. Don't judge me. It's not a good movie.
Biodome is that's a perfectly respectable movie to be watching in this climate.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of made sense, the dome. Yeah. And Tenacious D was in it for like 10 seconds. I didn't know that. I was like, holy shit.
I did not remember that at all, but
they're only in it for like 10 seconds. They're all like playing in a field, like look like hippies. They're all about they're both about half the size they are now. I almost didn't recognize them. Like 96,
and now they've got gray hair, and I know that Kyle is bald now. I mean, that they were making fun of the fact that he was bald when they made the movie. So like back in the day when he had the wig.
He's just got this big white beard now. It's pretty good. If you watch Jablinski games, Jack Black's got a big beard now too and stuff.
Yeah, they've kind of been going wild with that. I shaved. I don't know how many weeks we're into the quarantine when I was like, I'm growing a quarantine, or like I just let it go since the beginning of it. But I definitely shaved like, I don't know, a week ago or so, because I was just like, this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm not shaving on my vacation, man. I'm not doing it. I got to shave for work. I don't know why.
Shavecation.
Public, but yeah, shavecation. The old shavecation. That's definitely what it's going to be called. Nice mug, sir. Nice mug.
Thank you.
It's not quite as cool as my Terminator Salvation Cup.
What about
the greatest movie of all time? But
what about the other side?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's me.
That looks like a certain cartoon. Like, is that It's creepy too. I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I saw that thing talking, dude, in that video with your voice behind it, I was like, what the hell?
It's a witch.
I got used to it after about a minute, but like that at first, it was just like jarring.
That's what my sister said. She was like, it was kind of crazy hearing your voice come out of that thing. I was like, would you have been more comfortable if it had been like James Woods?
Been like what?
I said, would you have been more comfortable with someone else, like James Woods or something? Like if he
yeah.
How did you get him to do that? Why does the video have so few views?
Yeah, well, because it doesn't have his face. You can't. That's so skeptical. Maybe just sounds so good, James Woods.
Guy sounds exactly like James Woods. Whoa, what is my hair out? What's going on?
I love when they do. They have James Woods and Family Guy.
Okay, so Hercules, though. Piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. But they're talking about making a live action Hercules. Now, Disney has been pushing my buttons for a while now, but that's a good movie to make. I think they could do fine by it, but they've shown their ability to ruin live action movies like Mulan and whatnot. So I wouldn't put anything past them. But I've seen like people be like, oh, we need this person cast for this, this person cast for that. And people were saying Tom Hiddleston for Hades. And I was like, slow your freaking roll. The main mistake they made with Lion King was not getting Jeremy Irons to play another lion, because they were being like, we need all black people for this.
Yeah.
To make this live action version of a cartoon we stole from China. We need all black. Yes. Okay. So anyway, like what I'm saying is now is like, so we have an opportunity to do Hercules. James Woods is alive. Don't let anyone else be Hades.
He still kind of like looks like the character too.
James, put some makeup and CGI the hell out. I don't give a crap, because their live action of Lion King was just a bunch of CGI, so they're just lying through their teeth about everything. Hey, you remember this from your childhood? Pay money for it.
Honestly, if things were different in an alternate universe, and James Woods
love alternate
died, and like James Woods was dead, and Alan Rickman was still alive, I'd say Alan Rickman for the role. Personally,
I like him too.
Seen Hercules in probably like 17 to 20 years anyway. It's been a while since I've seen the cartoon.
But I was saying, like, they're still missing out on such a great opportunity. The movie that they should make is Atlantis. Did you see the cartoon version of that?
Yeah.
There's no songs in it. There's no songs in it other than like, background music or like, So there's no like sing-alongs or anything like that. The cast is diverse by its nature of what the story is. It makes sense that they are. And then when they go to the center, like all that stuff about universal energy and stuff, and then like the perils of war and like taking too much, that's all stuff that they can take from that movie and use. And no one can accuse them of anything, because it's already a movie that happened. It's already a great movie. Like no one could say like, oh, you're pushing some sort of agenda. All you have to do is make that movie shot for shot. And you have something that is, in a way, pushing some of the agendas they want to push, like tons of like female important. And then another important thing about that movie is they have like, you can't, if you're trying to push like the female or like feminist, you have to have powerful characters that are female, that are villains as well. Like they have to be able to be, you have to admit that like they can also be bad guys. And that's what that movie has.
Yeah,
that movie had
they'll switch.
They have a strong woman they have like strong women and men on one side, and strong, it pushes
perfect person. They can get Amber Heard in there to play one of the villains.
Absolutely. If they let her out. I hear she's facing some deserved trouble.
Rightfully so.
But speaking of
a wolf in sheep's clothing, man.
Speaking of people in trouble, though, I mentioned to you about Universal, and so AMC and Regal, the theater chains.
Look at this. Yeah.
They have said they're not going to be screening anything else from Universal. which includes things like Fast and the Furious and like some pretty big titles, obviously. And it stems from the fact that Universal released basically straight to home video, if you will, but straight to like digital release, Trolls World Tour. And then like the person in charge of Universal put out like something who's just like, oh, this is great. And like, we're going to try. And so the reason that AMC is doing this is because they're losing, and Regal, AMC did first. But so obviously theaters are losing tons of money right now because no one can go to the
why
theaters.
would they do this? Like,
but in the future, this is something that has been building since Netflix started allowing a streaming service. Like basically now that internet speeds and like digital are matching, like now that you can just instantly like, hey, I have this movie and it's that easy to upload to 1 million people. You couldn't do that before. Now you can.
And 4K quality too, you know, you can just
absolutely.
It's crazy.
And that's why some people are saying, why would I go to a theater? And so that's what the theaters are like. This was going to be coming anyway, but this, like, you know, the quarantine stay at home stuff, it forced the issue. And so now AMC, and they're saying you can't release the at-home version at the same time as the theaters because the theaters are going to lose money. And here's the thing. And here's the reason why they have a good point. Because a lot of people are mad at the theaters. They're like, oh, you don't like the fact that people can just watch it at home? You're just being a blah, 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 blah. The thing that they don't realize is the theaters have to give more than half of the ticket price usually back to the distributors.
Yeah.
And that's why they have to charge so much for like popcorn and concessions and stuff like that, because they're not making nearly enough off of ticket sales. And then when people like Disney corner the market and they buy up every property, then they can say, hey, you don't get to show Star Wars unless you show it on X many screens for X many of days. And at that point, that's why you're not supposed to allow monopolies and things like that. But so at that point, the theater has to show those things. And Disney says things like, hey, also for Star Wars, you have to give us more of a percentage off the ticket price than normal, which is something they've done. So at this point, theaters are making no money. Distributors are making a ton of money. And now they're about to cut the theaters right out of the game and still keep trying to charge them as much as they are off the top of those ticket sales. And the theaters are like, no, fuck you. Guess what?
I understand.
Yeah.
What I would like to say is I understand completely where they're coming from with that, but in the future, when everything does open back up, I feel like they're going to be shooting themselves in the foot if they're going to be missing out on like several movies every single week that they're not going to be showing in their theaters. That's going to draw less people in if they're not showing movies like Fast and the Furious. It's going to come back.
Well, it might lose money for a lot of people. Still watch movies in theaters. Like that's why movies like even get $1 billion, or you know, Endgame got $3 billion. Like there are movies I want to see in theaters and I would pay to see in theaters. You have to, like, you know, those people have to be willing to pay the same amount of money at home. They also have to be able to have that at home. Not everyone has like every streaming service or every whatever download or every available thing. Some people go to movies because that's where you can watch a movie. So there's gonna be a lot of back and forth on this, but it's been coming for a while.
Like I said, I understand what they're probably doing, what they have to do right now. Like they have to put a foot down, but at the same time, they're going to be shooting that foot later. I think, like if they're not going to have any content to put in their theaters when they reopen.
Well, they
completely just blocked out some studios.
Well, they blocked out Universal, and you know Disney will just keep showing stuff in theaters. They're like, we don't care. We'll keep showing stuff in theaters as long as people are willing to throw money at them. They'll do it. You can't threaten them. Universal is one of the ones that they maybe can, and the fact that Regal, when it was just AMC, I was like, I don't know. When Regal joined on as well, I mean, that's a lot of movie theater chains are taking it out of. But right now, that argument doesn't have so many teeth because who knows how long all these quarantine stuffs are going to be going on. Nobody knows when's it going to end.
That's all the game, you know.
Yeah, that's it, a lot of different things are going into stuff like that. Oh no, Hoff disappeared. So anyway, hopefully he'll be back. If he's not, I'll just be Hoff and VASE minus Hoff. That'll be all right. There's apparently nobody watching anyway. Heyo.
No idea what happened. Just cut me off. I lost the internet or something. Didn't. It just go right back and click it. So who knows? So it was my fault that time. The tables, they turned. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. I totally understand. It happens to me sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
I swear that's never happened to me before.
It's the first.
Keep going, man. I didn't interrupt.
Oh, I don't remember what I was talking about now.
Or disinterrupt. It was interrupting by not interrupting.
It's fine. I'm kind of concerned about
what other movies did Universal have on the line coming up? Do you know?
They have a lot of franchise, or several at least.
It's all those dark. Oh, I don't know if they're still doing those anymore, like the Dark Universe stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they actually plan to keep going with that.
Yeah, the Mummy was terrible. It's one of the worst movies of all time. Tom Cruise is the Mummy.
Yeah. I'm actually looking at it.
They got the Bourne movies. Probably keep making those. They got Minions. Yeah. That's a lot. Minions is a lot. That's Jurassic Park movies. Or Jurassic World, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a third one of those, right? So I don't know when that was supposed to be released.
It is just tough though, because like what's like as far as like the wave or the curve of like streaming and like going to theaters, it's now at the point where you can just upload it the next day. So from a lot of people's business, like the theater business is dying.
Oh yeah.
So
most people don't even remember drive-in theaters, dude, and like I loved going to those. They're pretty much extinct at this point. So I don't know. Yeah, technology is definitely changing everything. Even like video games right now, like GameStop can easily go out of business because people just buy right over their Xbox or PlayStation. You know,
digital download.
It's crazy. Yeah, and it's I mean, and you still, if you go buy the disc, you still have to bring it home and download it anyway. Wait, like for it all to load. So what's the difference? You just got a piece of plastic now, a useless piece of plastic sitting in, and every time you want to play the game, now you got to go get it, open it up, put it. And I used to like that. I used to be old school and be like, hey, I like to have the thing. Now I'm like, I'm just collecting plastic. That's
it saves space on your hard drive, I guess, by a bit, but not enough. Like,
well, I'd rather just buy another hard drive because you can switch them out like on an Xbox or something.
And yeah, exactly.
And they're smaller than a DVD case. So, I mean, like, still saving space.
One small hard drive can amount for like 50 discs, depending on like how big of one you get, or like 10 or whatever. But
I guess
you can get a terabyte like of data and just format it to work for an Xbox if you want. Those aren't terribly expensive.
Yeah, that's why I have one hooked up to my Xbox right now. I've been using for a while. When I got
the Xbox One X,
it came with a lot more space, so I don't really need it right now, but I still use it.
I usually just delete games and then like play other ones and then reinstall them later. Like,
yeah.
I definitely get why
that's great too. Yeah, and like at this point, like I used to make the argument that, well, hey, they can just remove those games at any time. You know, like from. If you buy it digitally, they can just remove the license or whatever. But at this point, the disc doesn't even make that much of a difference anyway. You know what I mean? Like, you still have to have you still have to be connected online to play most of these games, regardless.
Yeah. I remember when Diablo 3 announced that you had to be online connected the entire time that you were playing. It's just like. I guess, and that's one of the, and that was back when. I mean, like, that was a while ago.
That was about 7 or 8 years ago. Probably.
Yeah. That just shows how like they were looking at these types of things. And you see how like people are more willing to make like a cell phone game than to like put money into. Something big, but people keep making mistakes like. gosh, there's that one that's supposed to be coming out soon. I didn't play the first one. You know this. Yeah, I've been seeing tons of stuff. I don't care anything about it. I've just been seeing tons and tons of stuff. And just by the headlines and just by some of the comments that I see, it looks like a nightmare and like a disaster.
I haven't been paying attention simply because I don't own a PlayStation, so I can't get the game anyway.
Me neither.
But I did play the first one. I went all the way through the first one. That game it's a top 10 game for easily. The game was absolutely phenomenal. It's such a good game. So for people who loved that game and then are messing up this one, especially when it looked really good to begin with, that's a shame, man. It's just a shame because they had a really good thing going.
Yeah. And here's the interesting thing that I've heard about that, because even not paying attention, I'm so plugged into so many of these different sites and social media things that like Geeks and
Gamers and stuff always posting about Naughty Dog.
You pick it up, yeah. So Naughty Dog, and like exactly. So you see all of these different things that they're doing, and it's like, why? What does this have to do with the game that you're making?
Yeah. Did you hear about the Final Fantasy VII stuff?
Yeah. And there's been arguments.
Yeah, like
there's just so many stupid.
Like we're gonna remake the game, but we're not gonna remake the game. It's like, okay, why? Okay.
Have you seen?
Who knows? I've been loving Doom Eternal though. Game's awesome. It's a lot harder than the first one in my opinion though, but I love that game. Play it usually like a few times a week, play it for a couple hours and I get frustrated. I'm like, screw it. Try again tomorrow. And then I was playing Resident Evil 2 from last year as well. I'm about halfway through that, I think, and it's really, really good. I'm a big fan of the Resident Evil games though, so I'm biased. Love Resident Evil games, man.
I like them. I get too freaked out. So I can't do it. Yeah, no, I can't do it. I get the same way with horror movies, like not by myself. Not if I can. If I don't have to, then I won't. Like I don't put myself through that. But I've been playing some Borderlands 3, stuff like that.
That's one game I've never played. The Borderlands games. I know you've talked about them before. You were really excited when the third one came out. I remember.
It's fun. I enjoy it. It's something that I can just do. Like, yeah. Well, like I can just get into it, and I can just like. There's some games where like I'll get like sometimes I play Rocket League with the cars and the.
Yeah, that's a great game. I suck at it, but it's fun.
I got up to like one of the highest tiers recently in like the hockey version of it, which is the only version I play.
I like the hockey one. Yeah, that's a cool one.
That's the only one.
This guy I work with is like in the top like 0.1% of all players in the world.
No, I never got that close. Not even close. Yeah. So I just
recently at work he just showed us a picture of what he bought with that stimulation check money or whatever it's called.
God, yeah.
He bought you remember like back in the day, they still make them, but like there's little steering wheels that you can connect to your PlayStation. You can be driving.
Yeah, I had one for my Xbox.
He bought this thing. It's the seat, a dashboard, the steering wheel, the gear shift. It's like a part of a car in your home.
For Rocket League?
I don't know if it's just for that, but that's what he says. He pretty much plays exclusively.
He must play other racing games because you don't even gear shift unless there's an option to manually shift in that game, which I can't even imagine. That would be nuts. I can't understand why you would do. But even oh my gosh.
I mean, Forza would be pretty cool, but man, like I don't know how that's like having a whole arcade system in your home, man. It's huge.
That's a commitment, is what that is.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. He's a very lonely.
I'm committed to this. He's not like he's got tons of rivals and
dude, if you'd see this guy, I don't mean to make fun of him, but he's kind of an odd guy anyway. He's like a little bit socially awkward,
Yeah, I'm familiar.
You see this guy, I don't know, man. He looks kind of like a cartoon in real life. Unlike, I don't know. Like he looks like Bobby Hill a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
It's like God spilled a person.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna sit here and just rag on that guy. I mean, he's all right to me, but I just thought that was crazy. That I have no idea how much one of these things costs. I imagine it'd be like a couple grand, probably, maybe
Might be less
$1,500 or something,
depending on how quality it is. I mean, his stimulus check, whatever, is supposed to be only $1,200, and my goodness, he spent the entire thing on that. Although I guess if you guys have been getting extra hours, he just took that as a super bonus check.
Yeah. I don't even know how to search that. What do you search? Home racing setup?
Why is it always porn? What is she doing to that gear shift?
Let me see, man. This one's like, oh, that one's from Walmart though. Okay, they're like, I don't know, you can get one for like $700, I guess, like $1,000. It's not as expensive as I thought. But still,
oh my gosh, it's still surprising to me though that like for Rocket League. Although I guess if you're in 0.1%, I don't know. Like, does he ever make money off of it?
I don't know. I asked him. He said he doesn't really do a lot of tournaments and stuff, but I'm not sure.
Don't think I've ever. Yeah, that sounds.
But also, I don't think it would be easy to play Rocket League with a steering wheel because you got, there's.
No, that's why when you said that, I was like, why would you do that? Unless he's like super used to playing every racing game like that or something. Then again, here's the thing. I saw somebody beat Dark Souls 3 with a Guitar Hero guitar. So
I've heard about that. Yeah.
People can do anything. No, I watched him do it and I was like, I didn't beat this game with a controller. And I was just like,
I can't beat Guitar Hero with Guitar Hero controller.
And this guy's beating the hardest game to beat. And he's sitting there. I bet that guy gets so much pussy.
Gotta get
He's
the bonfire.
Just drowning in it. He's just drowning in it. It's like, man, what did you get to get on that pussy? Man, it's like, well, I beat Dark Souls 3. It's like, oh, who cares, man? With a Guitar Hero guitar controller. Oh! We're not worthy.
Wow. I wonder if it's just naturally easier for them to play with something like that. Some people just have their brains are wired differently. I don't know. If you had to practice that, I mean, good on you. Because I'm not that dedicated to anything.
I'm not that dedicated to anything.
No.
Yes.
You gotta credit to people like that and focus on stuff.
There is whenever after we post this video, I'll put the link in the description to the man who died. It's truly amazing. You can watch him do it.
It's black magic, is what it is. It's the dark arts, dude.
It's like you said. It's like I can't beat Guitar Hero with like a Guitar Hero controller, and he's beating a game that I can't beat with a regular controller with a Guitar Hero controller.
Well, speaking of like Guitar Hero, I actually just got it. I got an electronic drum set last week.
Nice.
Loving it, man. That's what I spent my money on. But I did sell my other drum set, and I actually sold it for more than I paid for this one. But didn't really.
So you're coming out
with that money too
ahead
much,
on that deal.
Yeah, exactly. You could say come out a drum head on that deal. Terrible pun. I'm sorry.
Womp womp.
Hey, I ain't snared.
But
I tip my hi-hat to you on that one.
I'd like to tip my low hat, but I seem to have misplaced it. I don't know.
What else, man?
I don't know. So I was gonna say, what else? What do you got? Anything?
I don't know. Let's see. I really just not a lot going on right now. Like I was watching a couple like podcasts I love recently myself, and like they just don't have anything to talk about either. They're always watching music videos the whole time. I was like, jeez.
Well, I got something now I can show you. So remember, I said I've been working on my final project.
Yes, get into that.
Okay, so this is the I'll give you a little breakdown of what it's going to be fully and what this is. So the full project is going to be this. It's for my special effects 2 class, and it's animated. I'm using I'm using Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop and Character Animator, and After Effects and Premiere to like combine a bunch of stuff. And so what it's going to be is there's this snowman, and he's sitting there, and then a hat lands on his head, and he comes to life. Whoa! But he doesn't have a nose, and like, so there are kids coming, and he wants to hang out with, like, you know, make them happy, but he wants to have a nose, or else they'll make fun of him. So he starts looking through this trash can, and he pulls something out of the trash can, and he shoves it into his face. It's a vibrator, and he pushes a button, and it goes and disturbs a hobo in the alley behind him. But he's already looking through the garbage again to try something else, and he shoves something else into his face, and it's a gun. And he sneezes, and the gun goes off, and it shoots a homeless guy behind him in his arm. He's going to be okay. And then he throws the gun away.
I was thinking Frosty at first.
I know. No, that's what you're supposed to think, and that's why it takes such a turn. That's why it takes such a turn. You think it's for kids, and then it takes a real turn. And so then he scrambles again because the kids are almost there, and he grabs this another thing. He shows it in his face, and it's a syringe, and he says, "No, it's not." And so he throws that behind him, and the guy that he shot earlier was getting up to attack him, but then he gets hit with a syringe, and he like falls asleep. And then it's too late, and the kids come by, and so the snowman stands still and pretends he's not there. And the kids laugh at him, and then they move on and make fun of something else. But one kid stops, and he takes something out of his bag, and he puts it up on the snowman's face. And as the kid walks by, the snowman switches, because he put on a pair of glasses that have the big fake nose and a mustache. And so then the snowman's really happy, and he dances around. And then as he's doing that, a homeless person comes up behind him and takes the hat off his head, so that he freezes back into an inanimate snowman, but happy now.
Oh, okay.
With a nose. And then the homeless guy looks at the hat, puts it on his head, and when he puts it on his head, he turns into a mannequin. And then a gust of wind comes by and sweeps the hat back into the air, and he turns back into a real person, but he's like, "Yeah, come back." And that's the end. And so
that's wild, man. That's wild. Creative. I'm excited. When will it be done? Posting on your channel.
It'll be coming up in a week or two, maybe a little bit longer. But what I'm going to show you now is just a proof of concept. This is the beginning kind of thing where like the hat's drifting through the air and then lands on his head and he comes to life. So let me see if I can show that.
Okay. Go ahead. Uh-oh. I thought you were just being really still there for a second. Well, I guess we'll just wait for him to come back here.
Hello.
Oh, shit.
That was weird. I don't know what happened right there.
Now there's 2 of them.
Let me try that again.
Back, Jack, do it again.
Really, Chrome has a bug that can cause screen sharing to crash on Windows 10. So maybe that's what happened.
Either that or you're just really good at being still. I'm not still.
So
you are again.
So that apparently just causes it to crash. I don't know why.
That sucks, man.
But StreamYard knows about it. They put up a message. I didn't see it the first time, but the second time I was like, let's give it a shot.
That sucks, man. I was going to see that.
I'll post it to my channel. So,
do you have a title for it?
Kind of, but I don't want to tell it yet.
Fair enough.
Because it's not ready yet.
Mystery.
It's really depressing though. Oh well. Anyway, got that in the works. That's very exciting. It'd be great if I could show it to you. I'm really happy with it. It's kind of impressive. But
I enjoyed your description of it too, you know.
And yeah, that tells you even more than you would see on this. This is just a little bit. Oh wait, you know, maybe I could do something. No, that would probably not work.
So I started tried to watch some like Star Wars Rebels tonight. Just kind of had it on, man. I don't know. I can't totally buy into it.
No, that's not gonna work.
There, I can see it.
I can't see his face at all.
Oh, it's like washed out.
Yeah. But
at least I get the idea, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
It looks really cool, dude.
I'll show you. Yeah, I'll post it up
it's
on
real
my...
easy to do.
It takes so long. It takes so long. You know how many tutorials and stuff I had to watch on like Character Animator? Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. I'll be glad when it's done.
Like, the videos I've been making lately, I want to put out more videos. I'm not going to go into the content of the videos, but this is relative.
Sure.
When I make these videos, man, like I would like to do one like every couple of days because I know it helps out like my channel and everything like that as well. Also because there's a lot I want to talk about, but I end up putting like 8 to 10 hours into each one of these videos, just like research, recording, script writing, making sure things are right, editing, mixing down, exporting, uploading. It's all a huge task, you know, and people think like, yeah, it's not hard to make a video. No, it takes a lot of time. It takes a long time to make something that's like 15 to 20 minutes even.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I was talking about. You don't have no idea how long it would take to do something like that. So I'm sure a long time.
And it
probably
depends
as long
on...
as it takes to learn Dark Souls 3 on Guitar Hero controller.
Probably. They're probably actually like... depending on what you're doing, because like there's so many different ways to animate stuff now. It's actually really kind of amazing what digital, like you can draw stuff and then like capture it digitally and then like make it happen, or you can do it all digitally, or you can do like there's a thing called rotoscoping, and there's it's kind of mind-blowing. It's like
that sounds a little sexual.
The thing is, like, it's almost the problem of too many options. It's like you need to figure out what you want to do and how you want to do it. And that's why I like doing stuff like the music videos that I do. And the only other thing that I'm, you know, is now that I'm doing those comedy reaction videos is, like you said, even for like a 5-10 minute video, whatever, it takes time. Now, what I'm doing is very easy. There's like 2 cuts or 3, like I've got that down to a science that from like watching to posting, it takes 1.5 hours to 2 hours out of every day that I want to post one. And that's just for comedy reaction videos, not stuff that I really want to spend time on, like music videos, animation, and stuff that takes like time. But here's the crazy thing that's been driving me nuts. And I know I've expressed this to you, but like, I'll do those 2. Yeah, I'll put in 2 hours and do a comedy reaction video, and that'll get like 1,000 views and blah, 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 blah. And then I'll spend like 18 hours doing something else that I care about. Like, not that I don't care about the other thing, but like that I'm like, that I made. You know, it's not just me laughing at George Carlin. It's like something that I put together, and it gets nothing.
No offense at all to you when I say this, but a lot of people find your videos probably because they say like George Carlin in them.
Oh, absolutely. I understand why. It's just depressing.
No offense, man. No offense, but I think George Carlin's just a little bit more famous than you. So
you're absolutely correct.
I hate to say it, man. I mean, you're big time, but I think Carlin's got you on this. Rest in peace. But
I was pretty happy the other day. I typed in "It's a Vase" into the search bar, and the first thing it said was "It's a Vase, Mom," and I know what that is. And then the next thing it says was "It's a Vase," which is just it saying what I said. And thinking that was me, and I was like, "Yay!" And I was not on a home computer. I was somewhere else that didn't have my normal searches in it, so it wasn't like it was just filling in for me.
I recently found out there's another HOFF cast out there. doesn't have as many subscribers as me, but
I saw him. The only time I ever saw that guy when I searched for you was like the first time after you changed it. And that was when I saw that guy existed, but he already didn't even have like, and I was like, no need to worry there.
Yeah,
there's a couple other. There's some other like vases out there and stuff like that.
Apparently, the guy still does podcasts on iTunes though, so that's what sucks. He just doesn't do anything on YouTube. So I got the YouTube side. He's got the iTunes side, I guess.
Copyright it and sue. Pull a Disney.
I still got more subs than him on YouTube, so at least I got the first one on that. So that's what I'm shooting for.
Merchandising.
Yeah, merchandising. Spaceballs, the flamethrower. Kids will love it.
Kids will love it. That one's so good. Oh man, parody, satire. It's necessary and it's good.
Yes.
People getting too offended today. I've been seeing some good comedians though. Actually, recently, not like George Carlin. Like, not that he's not good, but I've been seeing some recent comedians. Not to disclude, but like Bill Burr is included among these. Dave Chappelle. They did some stuff recently, but the most recent one that I saw was oh no, I can't remember his name. It's probably mine. Anyway, it was just I've seen a recent streak of comedians, especially the ones that tell a little bit more out there jokes, a little bit more blue jokes, a little bit more, colorful jokes, taking shots at this, like, oh, it's Chris D'Elia. I knew it was my name.
No, I think it's
Chris D'Elia. Yeah, his new one. He takes a couple shots at like, or just he talks about the fact that he like people have talked to him and been like, must be a really tough time to be a comedian. And he's like, no, it's a great time to be a comedian. And then he makes a couple racist jokes, and I was like, that's awesome. And not like racist, but like bringing up the point of like racism and why these jokes are okay. And like people like him, like he called attention to it in a good way, and like showed like this is comedy, like you need to be able to separate certain things, be able to tell the difference between jokes and reality. Bill Burr does that all the time in an amazing way. He's just awesome. Dave Chappelle did that most recently in his last special. He did a pretty good job. The other person that does a really good job never talks about it, never brings attention to it in that way like all those people did in their most recent ones. Tom Segura.
Oh yeah, he's hilarious. Dude.
He's hilarious, and like he says some fucked up shit,
dude. Yeah, oh yes, he does, man. I like the Two Bears One Cave podcast. You ever watch that?
I have to check it out. I don't.
Dude, great.
Him and
that one,
him and Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, it's great, man. They do one like every week. It's so good. It's crazy. Like it's one of my favorites, hands down. I used to be like, dude, Chris D'Elia up until just a couple weeks ago, he was like one of my favorites, and I was just about to watch his special, but he kind of said some stuff on his podcast. I normally don't get offended by things, but he said some stuff on there that kind of made me not want to. I don't know. It turned me off of him a little bit.
What was he talking
about? Basically defending Hollywood, saying that there's nothing shady going on there with like people and like Corey Feldman. Per se, I don't want to say certain words, but you know what I mean. He's like, no, there's nothing going on. If you think that there's something going on in Hollywood, you're an idiot. I'm like, there's been proven. What about like Weinstein and stuff? Like I don't understand.
Well,
like,
here's
in Hollywood,
and here's something else that I think this is a great time to say it. That you just brought that up. I can at the same time like his stand-up comedy routine where he talks about certain things, and at the same time disagree with him about other points in reality. And in that case,
but this is a fact, though. This isn't like you can't say that it doesn't happen. Like you just can't say it just doesn't happen.
Well, like, I mean, like here's the thing: it's like
it's well known.
People can have like one person can be right about one thing and completely wrong about another thing.
Yeah. Also, he's played the role of a PEDO in like 4 shows. So like I don't know, man.
And he said in his most recent special, one of the things he mentioned, he said like he's never drank ever, and people are always like,
I've heard
the
that.
hell,
and he said that. He says it a lot actually. But
yeah, and I don't actually doubt necessarily that. Like if it ended up coming out that that's not true at all, I'd be like, well, there you go. But I've also known people that don't drink, but like not everyone feels the need for social lubricants and stuff like that. Some people are just out there all the time.
He's
out there all
time, so I believe him on
the time.
that. Yeah.
And I know another comedian that he's now way better than I ever was. Well, I don't know, but he Drew Landry is he started local near Baltimore with around me, and he's doing bigger stuff now. But he reminds me a lot of Chris D'Elia. But he's always pushing.
I am going to eventually watch that. I'm maybe I took it too much, too heavy-handed or something. I don't know why comedians should even be discussing things like that. I don't know. I just thought it was really, it's not something he normally even talks about or anything, but he's just like really sticking up for it. I'm like, I can't watch the rest of this because I know what really happens, or at least a very small percentage of it, because we've seen it, we've actually seen it.
Do you think there's any chance that he was just saying that to get a rise out of people, or do you think he actually really meant it? Like, for sure.
No, he was really, if you watch it, I can't remember what episode it was, but it's one of his episodes. I could probably find it because it's probably the last one that I watched on my YouTube. It would have the bar like halfway through it, when you see like you've already watched something. But yeah, he goes into it a lot. It's not like he just like says it one time and like that's it. Like he just keeps driving it home like over and over. And I was just like, I don't like this.
Yeah,
I'm looking to laugh here, and you're just talking like defending Hollywood, and that's not what I want to hear.
And there are ways to laugh about that. Don't get me wrong.
That's the only time he's ever done that, though. Like everything else, he's normally like normally never even gets into stuff like that. He's like he makes the joke that he talks about important issues like crap in your pants or something, not like real political issues. So it wasn't like him to even talk about something like that. The whole Tom Hanks thing, which I won't go into that, promise, but basically that whole thing was sparked it, I guess. He was like sticking up for Chet and whatever, so that got crazy. But yeah, which he's made fun of Chet before, so I don't understand. Yeah.
But hold on, you're the son of Tom Hanks. How do you ever step out of that shadow?
Yeah, well, I mean, Colin
maybe not like that. No, Colin Hanks does a nice job trying to be his father.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
All right. Yeah. The other one's going like the black sheep.
He also has a daughter too.
Good.
Yeah, just like you never heard about those other kids until recently. Like you only knew Colin.
I never even knew he had kids until Colin. Exactly. Like because I'm not like a stalker fan of Tom Hanks. I love Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is in a movie. I might give it a shot just for that. I'm a fan of Tom Hanks. But like beyond that, I don't find out. I always thought it was creepy when people started finding out too much about these people's personal lives. I'm like, enjoy them in movies. That's what they're there for. Yeah. But then again, that's the kind of thing that Kevin Spacey thrived upon.
Yeah. Were you trying to do the voice?
I wasn't. I just threw it in there.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to do the House of Cards voice there for a second.
But that wasn't the way that Kevin. No, I wasn't trying to do that whenever I first did anything. I just naturally.
All I'm saying is, I think it's better to say nothing than try to defend it. All that I was saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, just don't bring it up. Don't try to defend it. Just say nothing, because that stuff happens, and if you're going to defend it, that just looks really bad on you. I think.
Yeah.
I will watch it special. I will watch it maybe tonight, actually, because I do want to see it. I do like Chris Lee. I think he's hilarious, but that just kind of turned me off of him, man. I'm normally not like either about people, but
I mean, I hadn't heard that before just now. So, but again,
it wasn't news. It was just something
I've heard. Yeah. Well, I've heard stuff that Joe Rogan has said, like that. I'm like, oh yeah, that's totally awesome, Joe. And then other times that I'm like, Joe, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like. Yeah. I love them both as comedians. I think they have great stand-up.
But also, Joe Rogan's show is more about political things.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Then yeah.
But Joe Rogan. Honestly, man, I love hearing him talk. And he has a lot of good points, but I don't think he's like laugh out loud, hilarious kind of humor. It's like a different kind of humor. It's like like a thinking man's humor or something. I don't know. But
I like to
everyone stand up. I'm not like I'm just like okay.
No, his is definitely kind of more of like a cerebral kind of like wouldn't it be crazier? Like what? Like how does this work? Like like kind of like it's kind of stoner humor in a way, but like thinker stoner humor as opposed to just like stoner humor.
Yeah.
It's like philosophical stoner humor, which I think is funny. Like when he talks about aliens and like all that kind of stuff, and you're kind of like, well, he's got to make it a decent point. And it's like, how high am I? Not high enough. Ha 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 ha.
Well, I mean, Carlin kind of did that kind of humor, in a way. Like always, a lot of his stuff was political as well, or whatever about religion and stuff like that. So
yeah. Joe Rogan stuff though is less like Joe Rogan stuff is less like political and philosophical as like far as like useful to us in the current day is more of like aliens and like like abstract like look at the earth, it's like a piece of bread and we're mold, and I'm like, that's a fine metaphor, but are you gonna tell a joke?
Yeah. I like when he has Eddie Bravo on the show, man. I'm not a flat earther, but that guy is fun to listen to. You know what I'm talking about, Eddie Bravo?
No.
Dude, look up Eddie Bravo. He's on a show every now and then. He's like a jiu-jitsu guy. He's a flat earther, and the guy's hilarious.
I think that's one of the persons that someone has told me to watch. Because now that I've started getting like people ask me to do more reaction stuff, like I just started getting like people like do this, do that. And I'm like, I don't know who the hell that is or who the hell that is, and then I look them up and I'm like, what the hell are you people into?
No, Eddie Bravo's been on the show a bunch of times, man. You could just Google.
I haven't watched his show that much. I've just watched his stand-ups mostly, but I have seen like I've seen clips.
Eddie Bravo is like I guess he's kind of a stand-up comedian, but not like a career one. He just does it sometimes, like kind of for fun, He doesn't really tour. But,
what a madman!
Yeah, and people say like he's
comedy for fun.
Everyone tells him if he just stuck to it, he would be huge. Like he'd be one of the most famous comedians.
He's not like, everyone wants to do that. Yeah, it's like, fuck that. Then everyone would be like, you.
Yeah.
Not everyone wants that. Mm-hmm. I'd like fame enough to like get enough money to not have to work hard.
That's what I'm about.
And then like not be so famous that like everything I do is like a tribulation. Like he stepped left instead of right. He's a monster.
Yeah, it's a fine line between a lot of those things too, man. I don't know. It's we're in such a critical age where everything you do or say is picked apart as well, and I'm guilty of doing it to people.
Sure.
Everyone is. I guess it's because everything is so readily available right there that you can pick it apart. It's not like it used to be where you just see something on TV and it flashes by and that's it, or like you have a newspaper and you don't have like 50 newspapers like you do online. You just have the one. So I don't know. It's just a lot easier these days.
I think it's part of it is that there's no like stretch of validity between like something you read in the Washington Times and some random blog you read. Like people don't see the difference between, and neither do seemingly the editors of those papers or like those actual news. Like literally the same posts are being made just on different sides in blogs, on papers. It's all, there's so much, like I like to say, it's like we entered into the age of information, and like that was dangerous for the elites because all of a sudden all the people can read now, and we can actually read the Bible, and we can see that like, hey, we're not just supposed to give you everything because that's what you told us to do. So now people are like, we can read, we know that that's bullcrap. And now we have like politicians and stuff like that though. It's like that. So now we have a new smoke screen that keeps us or the people from realizing like, yes, there's literally the ruling class and then like all of you.
Yeah. And that's
little bastards down there.
It really is. That's a huge issue. But like, it's also like, why I don't do these videos on anymore. Like I tried for a minute last year or whatever when I first started my channel. Like I don't do videos really talking about like Star Wars or comics and stuff like that because there's already 500 channels that do the same article every day saying the same thing as the other one that they just watched. They basically just clone it. They copy and paste it from someone else. I could name 10 channels. I won't, but off the top of my head, I could name 10 channels easily that just give the same thing over and over.
I know exactly what you mean because we started at the same place. And I know exactly who you're talking about. I know everyone. And I'm not even mad at some of them. I'm kind of impressed that
they're
still keeping it up. I can't do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's pointless for me to jump in, you know? It's like, it's already been done 100 times. Like, there's no reason for me to do it unless I just want to ride some coattails, you know? I'm not trying to do that. So, I mean, good. I mean, like I said, nothing against them. They have every right to do that, and they can keep doing it. But, you know,
if you found,
there's no reason for me to talk about that stuff anymore.
Yeah, whatever you want to do on YouTube, you should do. But Absolutely. I also know that feeling of like, maybe I should be doing these videos, or maybe I should be doing like that feeling, that pressure of like, these people are doing these videos, they're getting these views, blah, blah, blah. It's like, maybe those people are really passionate about doing those type of videos. What type of thing are you really passionate about doing? And then do that. And that's where I've come to as a point of like center for myself. Is like, I don't, I'll do the comedy reaction videos.
I'm still figuring it out, man.
Yeah. Oh, and me too. And like, I want to start doing book reviews and reviews on other, like more actual reviews of things as is just reactions. But like, I'm still trying to finish college right now. I want to get that out of the way. And like, who knows? And
let me tell you, man, like, I wouldn't mind if all these people covered the same article if they didn't all have the same exact take either, you know, and saying the same things as someone else said. Like, you can literally almost cut and paste sentences from other videos.
It's the same. Well, a lot of people just read an article. They literally, in their video, they just read the article and react to it. And I'm like, that's no different than me watching George Carlin react to it, except they're just reading an article. And so like, I have more fun watching George Carlin and laughing at that than, you know, and also I've done the article reading and reviewing of, and I got a good response from that, but it doesn't make me happy making those. Like, I'm not like, I have to be, you know, to do those kind of videos, you have to be constantly searching for things. You know, if you're going to make a video every day and it's going to be about flaws and things, then you know what your life is going to be? Looking for flaws and things. And that's all your life is going to be. I don't want that to be all my life is. I want to be able to say, I like this or I don't like this for reasons that I have, not because my life is entirely revolving around making YouTube videos for it.
Yeah. Well, it's like, remember that Joker trailer reaction video I made that was just a joke?
Yes.
That's why I didn't want to just do another reaction video. I wanted to make it different, you know. I just didn't want to follow everything else. That's been my whole time on YouTube. I don't want to just follow everyone else. I kind of want to just carve my own path, you know. It's just me though. But yeah, I just didn't want to do just a regular reaction video. Like, you know, I've done those. I have, but
well, that's what I love about you, Hoff, man. You never ask for anything from anyone. You just do your thing and you throw it out there. People can take it or leave it.
That's completely
no.
In a nutshell, man. You literally just described me in a nutshell.
I love it.
How did I get in this nutshell? Austin Powers. Oh man, we're almost an hour. I'm gonna keep going, but I don't know, man. I wish I had a lot more to talk about. If you have anything, go for it. I'm not trying to wrap it up.
I was gonna say I'm almost ready to. I'm ready to wrap it up anyway. We can talk about it next time we end up talking about whatever we may end up talking about. I'd like to get. I know part of the reason we ended our movie talk thing was my fault with the internet connection, and the next thing was Corona nonsense and things going nuts.
Yeah, it just kind of fell to the wayside. It was
I know.
Fun.
Yeah, it just things went nuts. So maybe we can get back into that. I wouldn't be averse to starting with a redoing of The Big Lebowski. Because we never got a chance to do that one well. So maybe we'll do that next time. Anyway, that sounds good to me. It's been great catching up with you. Great to see you.
Absolutely, man. It's a fun one. Dude, this was a fun show. Let me tell you that. No pressure, nothing like that. Not going in with really any ammo, just kind of spitballing, you know, BS. And it was a good time.
I like it. I like that.
Thanks for having me. Yeah. I know. Every now and then you just got to just get on there and just wing it. You know, that's what she said. But
Batwing.
Okay, my next goal. Okay. I'm try to have a goal to make a a sexual move based on every superhero. You know, the Superman's already been done. You know,
Superman, that hoe.
Trying to think of like maybe the Aquaman, or of course there's a Spider-Man. People already do the web shooting. You know about web. Yeah. So I got to come up with ones for like I don't know, like Vision. I don't know. Vision's easy.
I only feel you.
Right. Mine's still right. Black Widow. I don't know what to do with that. Hawkeye. That should be a good one to think of. Yeah. Gotta have a target
from across the room.
Put an apple on her head. Never mind. Take aim. Anyways, all right. We're getting a little goofy here.
I guess that's it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for having me on, man. We'll do this soon. We'll try to do some movie talk here before too long. Big Lebowski. Should be a lot of fun. I feel like I am an expert on that movie now after all the research I did while I was watching it last time. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully sometime this week. Like I said, I'm off, so I'm pretty much good any night. Just let me know.
I'll be in touch with you. We'll figure that out soon, and let the teeming masses know exactly what our plans are. Because
all
calm down, everyone. Just calm down. We'll be all right, sir. That's it for us. I'm Vase. That's Hoff.
What are you talking to the viewer?
That's it.